What is up, my friends? Rudy
Let's
T
go
coming
to
at
the
you with another
movies.
Dope in the Gym goes to the movies, because I have been going to the movies, dog. This episode is going to focus on One Battle After Another, the epic film from Paul Thomas Anderson, one of the foremost filmmakers of our time. I tell you what, I feel lucky to get to watch this guy's movies as they come out. Pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. I'll get to my top 10 list of his 10 films, but first I want to focus on One Battle After Another, the brand new movie he made starring Leo DiCaprio, Chase Infinity, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, and many others. The film was a freaking ride from beginning to end, and I suggest you hop the freak in, because it starts with bang after bang after bang, and it does not let up. I think this is PTA at his finest. I don't think he has ever been finer. He is the finest he could be in this movie, along with so many amazing performances. Freaking A, it was good. I saw it for the second time today, and I tell you what, I think I liked it more than when I saw it the first time. And that time it blew me away too. The first time I saw it, I went to theater that was mostly empty in a part of town that's more conservative, that draws a more conservative crowd. When I go to the Springfield shows, I'm usually the only person laughing at a movie. But then today I saw it downtown, in downtown Eugene at the Metro, and in a pretty much packed theater. And I was laughing beginning to end in this whole movie. There were laughs throughout. I think it's Paul Thomas Anderson at his best, both from a pacing standpoint, like even the preface of the movie, the first 20 to 30 minutes, and then we do the time jump. Like the first 30 minutes is rough. When I was in there the first time, it was a lot. And I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know. I wasn't prepared. I jumped in a neighborhood that was maybe a little more conservative than the one I saw it in today, and I didn't know what I was getting in for. So I was a little more puckered. My cheeks were a little more clenched the first time. And then the second time, having seen it before, knowing that everything is going to turn out the way it turns out, I was able to declench a little bit, if you know what I mean. And it felt good, and I got to just focus on the popcorn and the nutritional yeast and enjoying it in a theater of people that also enjoyed it, that I could tell were enjoying it. That was a full theater. People were laughing. We were there to have a good time, and it was something else. It's a movie that I didn't know what to expect from it. This year, if you want a slice of what America's like right now, go watch Eddington and then watch One Battle After Another, because it'll show you America in a way that I don't think you're ready for. It's brutal and it's intense, and I think both movies do a really good job of showing characters with various perspectives as imperfect individuals. That's what a good filmmaker does. I think it shows characters as flawed, as human, and as understandable. You should be able to relate with the characters you don't like, and you should be able to relate with the characters you do like. I'm not saying I related hardcore to Sean Penn in this one. He was a douche canoe. I feel like he just watched videos of Tom Homan, a border freaking czar, and was like, I'm going to be that fucking shit bag. And he was. Sean Penn was awesome as a shitbag, and he deserves an Oscar nomination for that. I think he'll get nominated. I think this movie will get nominated up and freaking down. Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and plenty more. I'm sure all of those will be coming around the bend in Oscar season, and I think they're deserved. I think they're totally deserved. Like I said, 3 hours. This movie's 2 hours and 40 some minutes. And I was engaged the entire time. You see a movie that long, and normally there'll be some times where you're like, oh, this is okay to go get a refill of popcorn or take a piss or whatever. But this one was not. You're missing stuff the whole way. He does such a good job of just making every step both entertaining and important. So many important things happen. You leave for 5 minutes, you're going to miss 3 plot points. And they're going to be entertaining at the same time. So you get so much character, you get so much story, you get so much progression throughout the entire thing. So I really enjoyed that. I think it's just him at his best. And so I was just tickled to watch it again. And today, again, packed theater, people were laughing. I was laughing. So many more good laughs. And not only laughs did it have, but it had heart too. There were 3 times when I teared up today. 3 times. And they all had to do with seeing people like connections after time apart or whatever. And they were really powerful. One with the daughter, one with the father, and another with the daughter and the father. I don't want to give away too much. That's why I hesitate. But at every point, you were like, oh shit, what's going to happen next? And I was just never disappointed. I thought it was amazing from beginning to end, and I couldn't recommend it more highly. I don't know if it's for everyone. I've seen people who hated it, thought it was too political or whatever. But I think that's if you do have a puckery asshole. If your asshole's full of puckers, might not be the movie for you. It touches on some touchy touches right now, especially based on what we're going at. It starts in a place I did not expect. Did not expect. And if you're not ready to go to uncomfortable places, then maybe don't go see this movie. But it touches on so many of the themes that PTA covers in his films that he touches on: family, sex, power, violence, money, racism, classism, all these different kinds of things that can take you to a really uncomfortable place. So if you're not ready to look at some of those, then I don't know if that's the movie for you. But like I said, amazing film, gorgeous. He plays with the sound, the score is amazing the entire time. He just adds so much with just like a very minimalist beat or sound or note or something that just keeps the thread running through a 10 or 20-minute scene or series of scenes. So good. Right now, I think it's the front runner for best picture of the year. I think is amazing, and PTA's never been better. And as I was getting ready to watch this, I've been starting to watch his movies, give a rewatch to all of his movies as much as I can. There's only 2 that I haven't watched again in this rewatch, and I'll get to those in my rankings of his films. But I want to talk a little bit about him and his movies and some of what I've noticed in watching his films over, because a lot of his were coming out when I was in like high school, and that's when he started. He started when I was in high school, and then he got a couple out around my time in college, and that's when I really started to like what he was doing and just falling in love with his, I was studying cinema and that kind of stuff. So of course his artsy fartsy movies are going to like play a big role in my development as someone who watches movies and films. Magnolia was huge in my brain. Like for many years I told that was my favorite movie to people. What a friggin' pretentious ass I must have been to love a 3-hour movie that ends with frogs flying in from the sky. Weird. It's still ranked super high. I need to watch it again, but I've watched it multiple times over the years. And I'll let you in a moment, I'll let you know where it lands in my rankings. But there's a lot of things that he does from beginning to end. He's done from the beginning of his first film, Hard Eight, in 1996, which I just watched for the first time, that he still does right now in 2025. So there's a lot of things that he's done over the years that he continues to do. He likes to jump through time. He does time jumps, significant time jumps. He's done that in at least 3 or 4 movies. Hard Eight, One Battle After Another, There Will Be Blood. Which just goes to show that he likes a movie with scope. I like that. I like that he zooms out as well and gives you a epic story over time that crosses space and time. And so I really appreciate some of that stuff that he does. He likes to work with protagonists who are dreamers and schemers and kind of like trying to fight the system. These are things that he does a lot. He's often very violent, very sexual in his movies. You see some of that in his characters for sure. Lots of stuff in there about what we do and don't get from our parents and family and passing it on. Do we have to repeat the sins of our fathers, of our mothers? Are we bound to be the same as them? And in what ways can a character show growth, or what ways can a character defy what their genes are telling them or what their parents have done previously? So I think that's always really interesting to look out for in his movies. defy those genes. You know, you're not going to be like you, mom. Fuck you, dad. Whatever. All this kind of stuff. So he does a lot of that. He likes to work with the same actors a lot. And he's worked with some of the best, man. He's worked with some of the best. He's had them over and over and over again. Come on, for a guy who had Philip Seymour Hoffman in 5 freaking movies, you know he's got to be the bee's knees, the cat's bananas, the pajamas meow. You know what I mean? Philip Seymour Hoffman gave some baller freaking performances in 5 different movies, one way or another. I mean, he's worked with Joaquin Phoenix, Daniel Day-Lewis, you know, of course, and There Will Be Blood. That just was one of the most amazing performances you'll ever see. I watched that again today before One Battle After Another, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't just recency biasing One Battle After Another, because like There Will Be Blood is like one of the best movies of our time. That's like East of Eden in a movie form. It's like epic. He's like a storyteller like Steinbeck or these amazing authors. I put him in that same kind of category as a storyteller, because the work that he does is just vast and hard hitting, and it gets you in your guts. Like it can stir something within you, whether you like it or not, whether you know what it is or not, or whether you're even enjoying it. You know, it's not, his movies aren't always like highly enjoyable. But I found One Battle After Another was one of his most enjoyable movies. Probably the funniest one I've seen since Punch Drunk Love, which I loved. I watched it on DVD the other day. I have that mofo on DVD. But I'm going to stop lollygagging, fanboying out over PTA, my Parent Teacher Association, and just give a rankings. Y'all ready for the rankings of his movies? I'll give you a quick top 10 of PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson's movies from me, Rudy T, a guy you don't freaking know. So let's get into it. Number 10. I just watched it for the first time. I was living abroad when this came out. I didn't even know it was a thing until like a month ago. Inherent Vice, 2014, Joaquin Phoenix. It's based on a Thomas Pynchon novel, and it's like detective-y and sleuthy, and yeah, it's kind of fun and kind of weird. But it just didn't feel like his movie, didn't feel like his story, and I think that's partially because it's based on someone else's work pretty strictly. You know, there's been a couple others that were adapted that will be uh, nominated in Best Adapted Screenplay, but this one, I don't know if what it was nominated for, but it was Joaquin Phoenix as a detective, and it just didn't fit the bill with me. It just didn't hit with me. It was kind of like, just didn't totally feel like even like a PTA movie at times. So, um, yeah, it's worth a watch. I mean, I had it on and I was like kind of doing other stuff. It wasn't amazing, honestly. Didn't love it, but I watched it, and it's another PTA movie, so it was pretty cool to be able to unwrap that recently and watch that. Um, it's free on the stream on a couple streamers right now, so that should tell you something. Second one, I also watched for the first time not too long ago. His debut film in 1996, Hard Eight. That's my number 9 PTA movie, Hard Eight. Uh, it was good, and you could see. I like seeing filmmakers' first movies. It's like a stripped down version of what they're trying to do. It's what gets their foot in the door. You know what I mean? John C. Reilly loved it. Philip Baker Hall crushed it. Samuel L. Jackson nailed it. And that's another thing he loves is guys with 3 names. He puts a lot of 3 name folks in his movies. Daniel Day-Lewis, Philip Baker Hall, Philip Seymour Hoffman, that kind of stuff. So it's like he loves those 3 name bros, and probably broettes, but I just haven't seen any of those. Hard Eight, good. Down on his luck guy, going to Vegas, trying to beat the system. Weird shit happens. Paltrow was in it. A young Gwyneth Paltrow, younger John C. Reilly was in it. Worth a watch. Yeah. And then 8th one got a lot of acclaim. Didn't really hit me hard. I watched it for the first time recently. Phantom Thread from 2017. Daniel Day-Lewis nailed it. Great job. Performances awesome. Setting, got into it, but I just didn't love it as much as many of the other ones. Again, about power between men and women. This, this amazingly talented dressmaker guy played by Daniel Day-Lewis. What was his name? Woodhouse, Woodbrick, Woodman, Hardwood, something like this. About the power that we have in relationships or don't have, and what it means to us. So that was another one that was really good, but wasn't as hard hitting as a lot of the other ones. Now, 7, I have Boogie Nights. Haven't watched Boogie Nights in a long time, but Boogie Nights was fun, cool. Look at the 70s porn industry. Mark Wahlberg. We all know that final scene where he shows us his diggler. I want to give it a rewatch, see if I liked it more or less, but I'm plugging it at 7 for my PTA. Number 6, another one I watched for the first time. Again, one of these ones that I missed when I was living abroad, The Master. The Master, loosely based on L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology, with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix in there. I just loved that like crazy interplay between these two characters, and Joaquin Phoenix like getting sucked up into this culty like world without even quite knowing it. And just this vast story. I love there was a bookend, a sexual bookend with Joaquin at the beginning and the end. Very different places he was at with that though. So worth a watch. Long, kind of intricate movie, meandering, might not be something that everybody loves, but I thought it was just amazing performances. Amy Adams did great. Everybody did a great job. So Master, number 6. Now my top 5. Here we are. Liked all of these amazing, so watchable for me. Number 5, Licorice Pizza. Just rewatched that for the first time. So I watched it for the second time. I watched it in the theaters because big PTA guy. Licorice Pizza, loved it. Coming of age story. And guess what? It doesn't have Philip Seymour Hoffman. It has his son. And his son, Cooper, I think it was Cooper Hoffman, he freaking nailed it. It was awesome. Him about a young, just like kid trying to get an older girl to fall in love with him. And played by Alana Haim, one of the singers in the band Haim. So good. Like weird, funky, some fun. Like it was his most lighthearted film, I would say, overall. Like it had some great moments, really beautiful character growth. Sean Penn was in that one as a douchey character as well, but not nearly as douchey as his last one. So Licorice Pizza from 2021, really liked that. Great coming of age kind of story, love story, moving, wonderful end, loved the end. Top four, There Will Be Blood. Watch that today, so good, brutal, epic. Covers generations. Daniel Day-Lewis totally deserved that Oscar. Nailed it. I would even say that's probably a better movie than No Country for Old Men. I probably would have given it the Oscar for Best Picture over No Country for Old Men. That's what I would say. 2007. Loved it. So just, again, epic. Feels like East of Eden, just like spanning generations, times, years. You see like the brutality of this oil world in the turn of the last century, from 1898 to 1902, and then beyond. Just brutal. And of course that final scene, wow, just you know, that last scene, I drink your milkshake and I take my straw. That just good fucking monologue shit. And a lot of that father son, sins of the father. How are we doomed to repeat that or not? And so you see, when you're a money hungry piece of shit, what happens? That's that one, loosely based on a book called Oil, from Upton Sinclair. But I think the stories were taken, and then he fictionalized them based on stuff from there. So, but it was really just brutal, great. Dude's covered in oil, beginning to end, and just kind of about how horrible it can bring out everything from everyone. So top 3, my top 3, here we go. Top 3, number 3 from Paul Thomas Anderson, Punch Drunk Love. Love Punch Drunk Love. Rewatch that again. Adam Sandler coming at you. He loves some comedians. This guy loves some comedians. He's been booed up with Maya Rudolph for like 20 plus years. They got kiddos together, and he loves his working with comics as well. He's had a few comics in his movies. So I think Adam Sandler in there, I love the performance by Sandler. I think he does an awesome job. There's just like so much in there, and this like monologue he gives when he finally goes and confronts Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's one of my favorite scenes I've ever seen Adam Sandler do, for sure. And Philip Seymour Hoffman was just great. Philip Seymour Hoffman was one of the best actors of our time, for sure, because he could take any character and make it amazing. He makes it so memorable. Even in Hard 8, he had one scene in Hard 8, and he was fucking nailing it. But and kind of the same thing in Punch Drunk Love. Didn't have the hugest role necessarily, but he was an awesome character. And Adam Sandler knocks it out of the park. All the sisters, oh my gosh, just hard for him to get through the day. It was a lot of fun to watch. Again, I rewatched it not too long ago, last week, on a DVD. I'm glad that I could find a TV with a DVD that still worked. So that was a lot of fun. Really loved it. Again, the music sticks out. These weird visual things stuck out. He had like these pieces of art throughout that kind of were like popping up. And deeply emotional parts, I think, for characters. My second favorite movie from Paul Thomas Anderson, Magnolia from '99. Big, epic, crazy movie. Need to give it another watch. I've been a little intimidated to watch it again just because it's so much, it's so long. There's so many characters, so much work. Paul F. Tompkins, I think, who has been in some of his movies but usually gets cut. He has a joke about Paul Thomas Anderson on one of his old albums that just always makes me laugh. And he was talking about how he's just looked like an idiot when he went to like table reads, and he blew it every single time. And there's like one of them where he's like, the script is the size of the phone book. And if you don't know what the plot of the movie Magnolia is, it's basically everyone in the phone book starts talking to each other. And it's wild, and his fingerprints are all over the movie. PTA's, it's like so his, it's one of those really audacious films from a younger filmmaker. Did I use audacious right? Maybe. Just daring and in your face, and he's going to do what he's going to freaking do. So that's number 2. And number 1 film from Paul Thomas Anderson. I think he just laid it on us. He just dropped it. One battle after another. Come on. Get real. That movie fucks. That movie rocks. That movie gives us the goods. And I'm super stoked that I get to go out into the theaters and see filmmakers like Paul Thomas Anderson giving us his work, giving us the business, and showing us how it's done. So if you want to see filmmaking at its finest, go see One Battle After Another, or watch any of the other movies that Paul Thomas Anderson has ever made. And there's also a documentary in there he made. I haven't seen it, but I've heard that's good too. So check that out. Anyways, Jokes in the Gym goes to the movies, and I talk about it. So I hope you like these mini episodes. I like making them. I'm going to keep watching movies. I'm going to keep talking about them. I'm going to keep chucking them at your face. So I'll see you on the next one. And another, because I saw another movie this weekend. I saw Anemone this weekend. Daniel Day-Lewis, DDL, yesterday. And then I watched him do There Will Be Blood today. He came out of retirement to do Anemone that he and his friggin' son made. Again, another movie about are we doomed to repeat? Sorry, a cat just came in and I got distracted. Are we doomed to repeat the sins of our father, our family? Are we? I don't know. I hope not. But that movie was dope too. Powerful, super powerful performances. Just real slimmed down movie and some wildness in there. But I really enjoyed it. I shed a single tear at the end of the movie, and that is a good movie. You watch the whole movie and then you cry one tear at the end. That's a movie in itself. Come on now. So, kind of slow, maybe not for everyone, but it's pretty heavy. And I bet there was a lot of them in the movie. But it's pretty cool to see father-son duo write a movie, then that father be DDL, Daniel Day, come out of retirement to be in his son's first directorial debut and then nail it. So Anemone was good too. So there you go. Little bonus review on top of these other bonus reviews. This was way longer than I thought it was going to be. Guess I can talk about those mofos for a while. Anyways, I hope you're good. Go see a movie. Tell me about it. What's the last movie you saw? What got you riled in your jeans, baby? And let me know. We'll talk about it. We'll keep on moving it up. So anyways, hope you're good. Check out a movie. Let me know what's up. Peace. Go see PTA stuff.